My girlfriend said, "I'm going on a self-discovery trip with my ex for 2 weeks." I said, "Sounds great." Then I moved out while she was gone and left a note. I discovered myself too. Her frantic voicemail started before she even boarded the return flight. I, 29M, was sitting on the couch watching Netflix when my girlfriend Celine, 27F, dropped the bomb. She walked in from the bedroom, stood directly in front of the TV, and announced, "I need to tell you something important." The way she said it, serious, dramatic, I thought someone had died. "I'm going on a self-discovery trip with Mason." Mason, her ex from college, the guy whose pictures were still buried on her Instagram. The guy she always said really understood her artistic soul. I paused my show. Me. "When?" Celine. "Next week. We're going to the spiritual retreat center. 2 weeks of meditation, journaling, and finding ourselves. Rest." I nodded slowly. Me. "Just the two of you?" Celine. "Don't make this weird, okay? It's not about him. We're just friends now. He's going through stuff too. We got a group discount, for 2 people. Celine kept talking. "I know how this sounds, but you need to trust me. This is about my journey. Mason just happens to be on a similar path." I took a sip of my beer. Me. "Sounds great." She blinked. Celine. "Really?" Me. "Yeah. When do you leave?" Celine. "Tuesday morning? You're really okay with this?" Me. "If you need to find yourself, who am I to stop you?" She looked suspicious for half a second, then smiled huge. Kissed me on the forehead like I was some golden retriever who'd just learned a trick. Celine. "This is why I love you. You're so evolved, right?" She spent the next 3 days packing, buying new yoga pants, talking non-stop about chakras and inner peace. I smiled, nodded, even drove her to the airport Tuesday morning. 2 weeks will fly by, she said, giving me a quick peck. I'll have limited phone access, so don't worry if I don't text much. Me. No problem. Have fun finding yourself. The second her plane took off, I went straight to U-Haul. See, here's what Celine didn't know. Her name wasn't on the lease. She'd moved into my apartment 8 months ago, never got around to the paperwork. All utilities? My name, the furniture, 80% mine. Even the succulent collection she bragged about, I'd bought them. And I'd already signed a lease on a new place Monday while she was off getting her aura cleansed. The move took 2 days. Surgical. I only took what was mine. Left her stuff neatly stacked in the living room, even kept the utilities on so she wouldn't come home to darkness. The note I left was simple. Celine. Went on my own journey of self-discovery. Turns out, I discovered I deserve better. Your stuff is in the living room. Lease ends in 3 weeks. Talk to the landlord. He's expecting you to either sign a new one or move out. I found myself, and myself doesn't include you. Good luck with your chakras. Then I blocked her number and settled into my new place. Update 1. So I blocked Celine's number. Didn't even think about her email. Big mistake. Day 5 of her 2-week self-discovery trip. I opened my inbox, and there it was. Subject: what the hell is this? I came back early because the retreat was awful, and you're gone. This isn't funny anymore. Where are you? Yep. The grand spiritual awakening lasted less than a week. By the next afternoon, I had 4 more emails. The landlord says I need to sign a lease. I can't afford this place alone. This is manipulation. You're trying to control me. Mason thinks you're being emotionally abusive. Ah. So now Mason had opinions too. Perfect. I didn't respond. Instead, I texted my buddy Ryan, who still lived in the old building. He gave me the whole scoop. Celine showed up Wednesday night fuming. And of course, she had Mason with her. They were hauling her boxes around like a tragic rom-com duo. Ryan overheard her on the phone with her mom, screaming about how I'd abandoned her and stolen the apartment. But the kicker? Mason was also on the phone, arguing with someone named Destiny. Turns out Destiny was Mason's actual girlfriend, who had no idea about this retreat until she checked his Instagram and saw sunset pics with my ex. So, yeah, the spiritual retreat imploded in under a week. Mason had to fly home early to try to salvage his own relationship. Consequences, all around. Thursday morning, my phone lit up. Against my better judgment, I answered. It was Celine's mom, Carla. Carla, how could you do this to my daughter? Me. Hello to you too, Carla. Carla. She's homeless. Me. She's not homeless. Her stuff's safe, and she's got 3 weeks to figure out housing. That's more than most people get. Carla. You're being cruel because you're jealous of her connection with Mason. Me. Carla, your daughter went on a couple's retreat with her ex-boyfriend. Carla. It was not a couple's retreat. Me. Right, just a 2-person spiritual journey with matching yoga mats. Silence. Carla. She said you were okay with it. Me. I was so okay with it that I decided to find my own inner peace elsewhere. Carla. You're a pathetic little man. Me. Okay, bye, Carla. Click. Thursday night it got better. I started getting alerts. Someone was trying to reset my Netflix password, then Hulu, then HBO Max. Guess who? Celine. From whatever couch she was crashing on. So I changed every password to some variation of find your own Netflix. 1, 2, 3. An hour later, I got a text from an unknown number. Celine wants to know why you're being so petty about the streaming services. She's having a panic attack, over Netflix. I replied, tell her meditation might help. Blocked the number. Slept like a baby. Update 2. By Friday, Celine switched tactics. If emails and Netflix warfare weren't enough, she went in-person mode. I was walking out of my gym when I spotted her standing in the parking lot in brand new yoga pants, probably bought for that retreat. She doesn't even have a membership. She'd just been waiting for 2 hours. Celine, we need to talk. Me. I don't think we do. Celine. You can't just ignore me. We were together for 3 years. Me. 8 months. Celine. The emotional connection was 3 years. What does that even mean? I kept walking. She grabbed my arm. Celine. Look, I get it. You heard about Mason, but nothing happened. Me. Cool. You meditated, you did yoga, you journaled. Sounds magical. Celine. Stop being sarcastic. This is serious. I need a place to live, me. So get one. Celine. I can't afford anything. You know I'm between jobs. Translation, she hadn't worked in 6 months. Her jewelry business had sold exactly 3 bracelets. Celine. If you ever loved me, you'll help me. Me. I did love you. Then you went on a romantic vacation with your ex Celine. It wasn't romantic. Right on cue, a beat-up Honda Civic pulled up. Out stepped Mason in a hemp necklace and man bun. Mason. Yo, man, can we talk? Me. No. Mason. Look, bro, you're making this harder than it needs to be. Celine needs stability right now. Me. Then maybe you should provide it, bro. His face turned red. Mason. I'm trying to help by taking my girlfriend on a trip. Celine. Ex-girlfriend. That one word, ex, landed like a slap. Mason froze. Me. Thanks for the clarification. Mason tried again, stepping closer like he was about to have a deep TED talk. Mason. You're just threatened by our connection. Me. Connection? Your connection lasted 5 days before you bailed. That's not a connection. That's a long weekend. Celine's face went pale. Because here's the plot twist. She'd been telling her mom and half her friends that Mason had offered to let her move in with him. But guess what? Mason was homeless himself, crashing on a buddy's couch because destiny had kicked him out. The look they gave each other? Priceless. I got in my car and left them to figure it out. Saturday morning, I was making coffee in my new apartment when my Ring doorbell lit up. Celine hadn't come alone this time. She brought a crew. Her mom, Carla, her sister, Jade, Mason, looking like he hadn't showered, and some random girl I didn't recognize. Later learned it was her friend Nova from the failed jewelry shop. They stood outside with a U-Haul full of her stuff. Carla leaned on my doorbell like she was auditioning for Jeopardy! When I answered through the camera, Carla launched in. "Carla, you need to man up and take responsibility for this situation." Me. I did. I moved out. Carla. "That's not responsibility. That's running away." Then Jade jumped in. Jade. "You're destroying her life over your ego." Me. "Her life isn't destroyed. She's just facing consequences." Nova took a softer angle. Nova. "Don't you think you're being a bit harsh? Like, energetically speaking, this is negative me. You know what else is energetically negative? Going on vacation with your ex, and Mason, genius that he is, tried to jiggle my door handle. On camera. Me. "Dude, I'm calling the cops if you don't stop." He backed off instantly. Finally, Celine herself spoke up, full crying, but not sad crying, angry crying. Celine. "I gave you everything. I decorated your apartment, I cooked for you, I made you a better person." Me. "You decorated with my money, cooked twice in 8 months, and I'm the same person I always was." Celine. "You're vindictive." Me. "No. I'm gone." Big difference. They left only when I mentioned I was documenting everything for a potential restraining order. That night at 10 p.m., she emailed me again. Subject line, business proposal. She wanted me to invest in her jewelry business in exchange for 10% equity. The exact investment amount? Equal to 3 months' rent at the old apartment. The business plan was literally 2 sentences. Cosmic creations will revolutionize mindful jewelry. With your investment, I can focus on creation without housing stress. I forwarded it to my buddy Ryan, who works in venture capital. His reply, "Is she high?" Update. 3. Monday morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Not from Celine directly. Oh no, she'd gone professional with the harassment. She messaged every single one of my LinkedIn connections. Boss, clients, college professors, even some random recruiter I'd added in 2019. The message? Copy-pasted chaos. "Hi, I'm raising funds for my spiritual jewelry business and noticed you're connected with my ex. Despite our personal situation, I believe in keeping business separate. Would you be interested in cosmic consciousness through wearable art?" Yes. She pitched her failed bracelet shop to my boss and my biggest client. Boss texted me, "Your ex is interesting. Is she okay?" Client emailed, "Think your girlfriend needs help." Old professor, "Is this performance art?" But she wasn't done. By Wednesday, Celine had launched a GoFundMe. Help a spiritual entrepreneur escape emotional abuse. The description was a masterpiece of delusion. Claimed I'd financially controlled her for years. She hadn't worked in 6 months by choice. Said I'd isolated her from her friends. She went out every weekend. Claimed I sabotaged her jewelry business. I never touched her resin and bead stash. Abandoned her during a mental health crisis. The crisis being consequences. Goal, $25,000. Amount raised, $37. All from her mom, Carla. Meanwhile, Mason left me a voicemail from a new number. His voice was shaky, like he was already regretting everything. Mason. "Hey man, real talk. Celine's kinda losing it. She's staying with Jade, but Jade's about to kick her out. She keeps saying you're conspiring against her like you hacked her chakras or something. I'm gonna be honest, bro. The retreat was weird. She wanted to do this tantric workshop, and I was like, Nah, that's why we left early. Well, that and my girl found out. But anyway, maybe just give her some money so she stops? She's making us all look bad, hacked her chakras. I can't make this up. Wednesday afternoon was court day. Yeah, she filed a civil claim saying I owed her domestic partnership compensation. She'd Googled common law marriage and thought she had a case. She represented herself, obviously. The judge flipped through her paperwork for about 30 seconds before asking, "Judge, ma'am, you lived together for 8 months. You were on vacation with another man when he moved out. What exactly are you claiming?" Celine, emotional investment damages. The judge dismissed it in under 5 minutes. Outside the courthouse, she'd arranged for Nova, her jewelry friend, to film her giving a speech about systemic oppression of spiritual women. That TikTok has 12 views. 11 of them are from Carla's burner accounts. Thursday morning brought the final boss move. I got a call from my old landlord, Rick. He sounded exhausted. Rick, your ex-girlfriend is trying to squat in the apartment. Me. What? Rick. She changed the locks. Says she has tenant rights. I'm starting eviction proceedings. She printed a fake lease off the internet, spelled her own name wrong on it. But here's the kicker. Remember how I left the utilities on to be nice? She never transferred them. Still, all in my name. So Thursday afternoon, I shut them off, legally. An hour later, Jade called from a blocked number. Jade, turn the power back on right now. Me. Who is this? Jade, you know who this is? Celine's in there with no electricity. She's trying to run her business. Me. In an apartment she's squatting in? Jade. She's not squatting. She's establishing residency. Me. That's literally squatting. She hung up. Friday morning, Rick called me again. Rick, police removed her today. She tried to claim you were her landlord and that she'd been paying you rent. Couldn't provide a shred of proof. Screamed something about mercury being in the microwave. Mercury in the microwave. Not retrograde. Microwave. Apparently she tried to sage the cops, too. They were very patient. Final update. It's been 2 weeks since the police escorted Celine out of the old apartment, and here's where everyone landed. Celine? Back in her childhood bedroom. Not with Jade. Her own sister blocked her after the eviction. Not with Mason. He ghosted. She's with her parents, spinning it as some radical lifestyle choice. According to my buddy Ryan, who saw her at a cafe, she was bragging that taking a sabbatical from capitalism and moving in with her parents was an act of resistance. She's still clinging to her failed brand, Cosmic Creations. Her Instagram bio now reads, Survivor, Entrepreneur, Cosmic Warrior. She's down to 73 followers. Carla likes every single post with 3 heart emojis. Mason? He slithered back to Destiny somehow. They're working through things, which in Instagram speak means they're publicly miserable together. His big spiritual guru arc ended with him delivering pizzas. I actually ran into him at a bar last Friday. He was drunk. Tried to bro hug me. Mason, dude, I'm sorry about everything. Celine's actually insane. She tried to get me to invest in her business too. Said we could be conscious capital partners or something. I was like, bro, I deliver pizzas. Pizza. The self-discovery retreat guru was just trying to get high in the woods and is now back to pepperoni deliveries. Honestly, he did me a favor. Celine's mom, Carla, sent me one last email. I hope you're happy. My daughter is devastated. She actually thought you were the one. She was planning to propose to you on that retreat, with Mason's help. He was going to help her pick out rings. You threw away something beautiful because of your silly male pride. She was going to propose on a trip with her ex, who was going to help choose the rings. What do you even say to that? I didn't respond, just laughed with my new girlfriend, Heather, who I met at a resident event in my new complex. She thinks the whole saga is comedy gold. Last night she joked, "Let's take a self-discovery trip," then burst out laughing. "We're planning a real trip. To Seattle. Just us. No exes." And Celine? Still spiraling. A week ago, she announced a major evolution for Cosmic Creations. She's adding essential oils to her jewelry line. Nova, the failed business partner, slipped up in the comments. The handcrafted oils are just rebottled dollar store lavender spray. Someone asked if the blends were FDA approved. Celine replied, "I don't subscribe to governmental oversight of natural healing." Her mom was the only one who liked the post. Looking back, the red flags were there all along. She once tried to pay rent with a check from her future self, claimed her cat was her reincarnated grandmother. She didn't even own a cat. Tried to expense therapy to my health insurance as a dependent spiritual partner. Accused me of dream cheating because she dreamt I flirted with someone. But the ending? Exactly what it needed to be. She discovered herself, all right? Discovered she's an entitled person who thought she could have her chakras aligned and her rent paid by different guys. And me? I discovered that standing up for yourself isn't vindictive, it's necessary. I also discovered my new apartment has amazing water pressure. Nobody here charges crystals in the microwave at 3 a.m., and the only incense I smell is the neighbor's cooking. To the people saying I should have just talked it out, I did. My response was moving out. Sometimes the best conversation is the one you don't have. To those saying I was too harsh, she went on a 2-week vacation with her ex and expected me to smile. The bar was underground and she brought a shovel. And to Celine, since I know you're probably reading this through Carla's account, hi. The retreat center called. They want their meditation cushion back. The one you apparently stole. They're threatening legal action. Good luck with your cosmic consciousness. You're going to need it. Peace out.